In the DVD release for Dragon Ball Super Broly, there is a short interview with the editor at Shueisha, Akio Ioku, who said that we are steadily working towards the next Dragon Ball Super movie, which means that we are going to get a fourth Dragon Ball Super movie, Battle of Gods being the first, Resurrection of F, Dragon Ball Super Broly being the third, and now some fourth movie. What is it gonna be? Who is the villain? Who are the characters that are gonna be involved? And is this gonna take place after the Moro arc? Joining me today is UnrealEntGaming, a fellow Dragon Ball YouTube channel, and we're gonna talk about all of the possibilities for this next Dragon Ball Super movie. This video is sponsored by Mastar, an exciting, completely free-to-play anime MMORPG. You and your friends can undertake an exciting adventure in a world full of secrets. It's pretty cool. You join a server in a world of all these other players from around the globe, and you can pick a class, an archer, a swordsman, or a mage. You can explore the world with your friends, defeat powerful monsters, and even tame wild animals. Yo, what? I just caught a chicken? Yo, my chicken can fight, dude. Yo, this chicken is a beast. Battle chicken, go. Oh, I can't tame this sheep. I want this sheep. Let me go do this quest, and then maybe when I come back, I can tame it. Ah, yes. I have gained the sheep. Now, no mortal can defeat me. It's actually a fairly old game, but they just released a major update, so all of these players are flooding Nostale again to check out all the new content. So you can download this for free. It's a completely free game by clicking the link in the description. What are you waiting for? It's free, it's fun, it's an MMO, it's anime. Come join me and play, click that link in the description, and I'll see you in the world of Nostale. So with Broly being done, there is a possibility right off the bat that we may actually be getting a reboot of the entire Dragon Ball Z movie franchise, or at least a lot of those movies. However, we also had Gogeta, so considering Broly and Gogeta were just done, that could potentially knock out movies 8, 10, 11, and 12. So we could still get the Android 13 through 15. We could get Cooler again. We could get Hildegarn. There is a lot of, and Bojack as well. There is some potential for that. What do you think, UnrealEntGaming, about them rebooting all of the Dragon Ball Z movies? Or do you think that they're going to go in a different direction?
I think that a lot of people want to see, if anything, one of two concepts be done from the Dragon Ball Z movies. That would be Cooler and Janemba, for all intents and purposes, right? Now, Dragon Ball Super Broly introduced the idea that Frieza needs a companion. He needs an ally that he wants to work with to defeat Goku and Vegeta, because he conceded to the idea that he can't beat them alone. So, you know, what better way than for him to sit back and wait for Broly to basically hone his craft, become stronger, and then somehow kind of manipulate him to, you know, use him in a way to where he can defeat Goku and Vegeta, because with Frieza confirming that he can't do it alone, why not do it with an ally? So I think that'll be a great idea to introduce his brother in a way. If they wrote in Broly the way they did, I think that they can introduce Cooler in a similar fashion. For example, have Frieza seek out Cooler. And yeah, I mean, even though Cooler would be significantly weaker, you can argue because of Frieza's significant gain ever since ROF, who's to say that the same thing can't be done with Cooler having to be taken under Frieza's wing? They train, they get stronger, and then we have a tag team duo between two brothers having to face off against the Saiyans. Now, they could also write in Cooler in a way to where maybe he's jealous or angry that he was looked down upon from, you know, the Cold family and having everything passed down to his younger brother. I think that would be an interesting story. And then, you know, you don't have to have the dynamic between Frieza and Cooler often be the same. For example, you can have one turn on the other, but I think a concept introducing Cooler would be great. But also, a lot of people want to see Janemba, and I spoke about this on my channel several times in introducing a concept like that. A Janemba-like concept and having a being affect the very macrocosm of Dragon Ball would be, I think, very vital at this point, because by introducing mortals that are like stronger than Hakaishin, for example, like Broly and Jiren, you need to up the stakes. And what better way to up the stakes than to introduce an enemy that affects the very macrocosm of everything, perhaps not just Universe 7, but all the effective universes. And I think that by having Goku, Vegeta, you know, require the aid of Broly and others to help them in this cause would be really, really awesome. I really wouldn't want to see another Janemba versus Gogeta kind of gimmick, because we already had that. But instead of having that, imagine you put yourself in a scenario to where Janemba is overcoming Goku and Vegeta, in thus having Goku recruit the aid of Broly or perhaps maybe other people just to help in this scenario, to where this enemy is so strong that it's sort of like you're fighting an unwinnable battle. So yeah, I think that the possibility is there for them to basically retell and redo the Dragon Ball Z movie villains, but I think that also what a lot of people want to see is a brand new villain. What do you think? Would you rather Janemba, Cooler, or maybe Bojack or anything like that, or do you think that they should stick with perhaps adding in a new villain?
I think the reason that they gave us Broly is because they knew, I think they were taking a lot of risk on stopping Super in order to make that movie. And
Agreed.
I think that they gave us Broly because they knew it was a sure thing. And that's also why they put Gogeta in the movie, is because they knew if they give us Broly and Gogeta, literally every single Dragon Ball fan plus more is going to go and watch this movie, right? So I don't know over in Japan how critical of or important of a character Janemba is or Bojack, but Cooler maybe because of their obsession and their love with Frieza. So I could see it as a possibility, but like you said, you know, Cooler like has a lot of catching up to do. Like he's, you know, unless he's been on some planet training for, you know, this whole time. And as we saw, Frieza got so strong after what, like 4 months. But I think that that's kind of silly. What you're right. What fans want is they want a brand new, exciting, interesting villain. And I think, you know, you have the possibilities with Universe 13 through 18. However, that may happen in a future arc in Dragon Ball Super. So they might not save that for a movie.
Right.
The other thing is you have to know that this movie will take place after the Moro arc, meaning that Vegeta is probably going to have some new technique that he's going to pick up from Yardrat. And also, Goku is training with Miras to try and re-unlock Ultra Instinct. So they're going to beat Moro probably in this arc. The new villain has to step the level up even higher. More than Jiren, more than Moro, more than Broly. What kind of character could do that? I think fans will go crazy over an evil angel, right? Like that's something, that's a concept that fans would love to see. Some fallen angel that's like the strength of Whis, maybe even Whis and Goku, you know, Whis gets involved and fights him a little bit. Like that would be sick. I don't know what else, you know, unless like we have some sort of another ancient being like Moro that pops up that could compete with them. But the bar is set so high right now that it seems like really hard for them to create something even stronger than the last villain that they gave us. You know,
I think they're getting there. Introducing an angel level enemy, I think, is down the line, because a good example of introducing characters that aren't really within that tier are like when you look at the games like Mechikabura, Gravy, and all of the characters we saw from the Demon Realm. They were exceptionally more powerful than the standard characters. So yeah, I think that by introducing an angel level foe, that would pose a threat to a lot of things. But I think to get there, we still need to take those steps. I think by looking at what the mortals have accomplished, like for example, Moro, a very powerful mortal that gets stronger via feeding off of the essence of, you know, beings. Jiren having to, you know, train exceptionally for a long time to get to where he is. Broly having to be a special case. I think that they need to introduce a villain or a character that is probably like Moro, comes from a very older time, and perhaps maybe again threatens the very existence of not just a singular universe, but the entire multiverse as a whole. But I think that also when looking at the movies, we have many other concepts that they can include. For example, hidden androids, right? Why not do a Android 13 adaptation to where there was perhaps maybe a laboratory, or maybe other beings out there within the existing universe had created Neo machines or something like that, you know, that introduces the concept of more androids or Sephorians, perhaps, you know, like anything is possible. But I get that hunch that this next movie is going to feature perhaps maybe the final battle between Frieza and Goku and Vegeta, because it was made evidently clear that Frieza wants his revenge, but he's doing it in a way to where now he's not directly, you know, going in your face. And with Vegeta hinting towards Goku that, hey, listen, this guy is capable of a new evolution, you know that, right? And, you know, that in and of itself is scary, because if Frieza were to take that into consideration, he's seen Ultra Instinct, he's seen them fuse, he saw the gods, he knows about the angels, he's been there at the Tournament of Power. So what's stopping this individual now from using all of that information in creating the ultimate plot to get back at these guys? I think that maybe perhaps we might be seeing Frieza's final run in this next movie, because it's very evident that the way he left and the way he was so calm, cool, and collected about it, it's not the last time we're going to see him. But if we do end up getting another Frieza movie, could we expect a new evolution to go up against Ultra Instinct or something like that? It's possible. It's going to be very fan servicey, and if you're not a fan of fan service, then I don't know what to tell you. But I think that I'm getting that hunch that perhaps it's gonna involve Frieza again.
I
in some
hope
way,
it's
shape, or
not
form.
Frieza, dude. It's
Really?
like, can we put Frieza to rest already? I mean, come
How
on.
though? How do we put him to rest?
I mean, you know, he's off doing his thing. There's not really like any more life forms left in Universe 7, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, he could get a new form again, but it's like, come on, dude. We just had that with movie 2. I think that we're potentially, and what would be really cool is if we found the villain that killed Jiren's parents, right? The demon or whatever.
Right.
And if they recruited Goku and Vegeta and maybe Broly, could you imagine Goku, Vegeta, Broly, and Jiren together? That's like the dream team, bro. Like,
no, that goes back to my original concept of a Janemba-like character affecting the macrocosm of everything. Because imagine Goku requesting the aid of Jiren just because it's like, hey, listen, I'm not enough, Vegeta's not enough, we need more help to take this person down. So sort of like involving like a multiversal kind of concept to where everyone gets together and everyone, you know, ironically, they went from fighting each other to now working together to stop this one person. And it's sort of like an Infinity War Endgame type scenario. Like, we need a Thanos-like villain. I mean, is it subjective to say that the villain should win? Perhaps, maybe, because we haven't seen a villain win in quite some time. But I think, yeah, you're right. Having Broly and Jiren, imagine that teaming together to fight against the common cause. I think that'd be great. But the problem here is they need to set up a circumstance and a scenario to where the villain feels relevant within the context of feeling like an actual threat.
Yeah, and that's pretty hard to pull off. My guess and my hope anyway is that it's some kind of demon or ancient being from another universe. Like, we've pretty much explored all of Universe 7, right? But there's 11 other universes that could have crazy strong enemies, right? I mean, Goku could in this movie travel to one of the top 4 life form universes or mortal level universes and maybe find some enemy there. Like, maybe the movie starts off and he's like training in Universe 1 or whatever, and he's like in some tournament over there, and then something happens, some sick ancient being comes out, and you know, I think that would be really cool. You know, again, it's just getting harder and harder to find an enemy that can compete with everybody, you know, because the bar keeps getting raised so much higher. That's why, like, Akumo, like, I created, like, the first of all Saiyans who, like, created Ultra Instinct. Like, something like that would be an awesome concept for the movie. Like, people love that story that I created because it's like someone who's pretty much stronger than a god of destruction, maybe not as strong as an angel, but like has mastered, you know, Ultra Instinct, created it, and you would get that like insane Ultra Instinct battle that I thought we were going to have in this Broly movie that we didn't get. I mean, but with Shintani's character designs, the ease, how it makes animation so much easier, you could have just such a wicked Ultra Instinct battle go down in this movie, you know? And like, how much would you want to see Ultra Instinct versus Ultra Instinct in just this just absolutely insanity level animation? But I don't know if they're going to do that. I mean, they have the capability. What they pulled off in Broly animation wise was just like so beyond like anything that they've ever done. And they pulled it. They met the deadline. I mean, I didn't really hear too much about them struggling in production. So I feel like they really got their ducks in a row production wise. Right. And they were able to, you know, so I think that they have the capability to do something of that animation caliber, right? UI, Ultra Instinct versus Ultra Instinct. But who knows, man? I think, you know, what comes first, the movie or Dragon Ball Super 2? But what they need to confirm before they make this movie, and I don't know if they've started writing it yet. It sounds like they have. But what they need to confirm is like, is this movie gonna succeed like Broly did, right? And how do we do that? We give people what they want, right? The fan service. Are they aware enough to know that people would love to see UI versus UI, or is that just me who wants to see that?
I mean, it's possible. I think it all boils down to direction. For example, a concept such as Ultra Instinct versus Ultra Instinct, imagine if that were to be adapted by having perhaps UI Goku fight against a higher evolution of Frieza that requires UI, similar to Jiren. I mean, they could ultimately surprise you with that. Would that make sense? No. But seeing as to how Frieza was there and he's observed, he's a very, I think, self-aware person when it comes down to individualistic, like, observation. Like, he's seen Jiren's power. He's felt Broly's power. So, like, this dude could ultimately train his butt off and become like the next, Jiren level opponent to where Goku needs UI. Or they could give us an ancient demonic being to where similar to Jiren has the capabilities to stand up to UI. I think that if this varies on two things, number one, if the movie comes before the show or the show comes before the movie, I think that's very pragmatic. And I also believe that number two, it's the level of direction. If it is Frieza, then this is the movie to where they finally finish him off, whether that be Vegeta doing it like you did in your little series to where Vegeta blew Frieza away with Broly, or if they have Goku finally finish him off, who knows. But I think that going into it, the possibilities are there, and we might come back for a part 2 on this video because there's so much to talk about. But I think right now the core thing is, in my opinion, introducing either a companion to Frieza, whether that be his brother or another ally, or B, introduce another Janemba-like character to where they affect literally everything by having their very existence, disrupt the fabric of the multiverse. But I mean, who knows? Or they can give us, something very calm, cool, and collected. It's very unexpected. But I think that they need to up the level of intensity for sure compared to Broly. But can they do that? Who knows? I mean, hey, they could probably even do a Broly Second Coming remake to where like Broly comes back again, he's manipulated by Frieza, fights Goku again, like something like that. So I think those are just my final thoughts.
I don't think they're gonna do that, but I really hope they do something original. I mean, Jiren was cool, Broly was awesome, but I think fans are really digging Moro because he is original, right? Like, not only is he strong, but he has like all this magic. He's like, it's something new and refreshing in, where Dragon Ball typically is just about, who has more power, right? And in magic, plays an interesting element in this. We'll have to see, man. I mean, I guess we could really talk about this forever, but it does look like they're gonna make another movie or two. I mean, you remember back when the websites were bought for like Dragon Ball Super movie 2018,
1920. Yep.
So, I mean, I think that they definitely made the money. I mean, they made like 90 million plus profit on Broly, like some crazy.
Oh yeah, 100 million. Yeah, 100 million plus.
There's no way that they're gonna. I mean, businesses run on money, right? Like, there's no way that they're not gonna do this and continue it. The real question is, can they pull something off that's so interesting that it's going to make as much as Broly did or more? And I think that you may be right. They may fall back on previous concepts just for that familiarity because it's something what people will watch. But I think that they should gamble and give us some new crazy enemy that they should. And I want to see some UI versus UI, bro.
I think that'd be awesome. It just, again, it depends on the direction, but they could do it. I'm sure they can.
Well, you're gonna see some UI versus UI in Anime War, episode 12.
Yeah, when's episode 13 coming out? And then 14, right? You giving us that, right? No.
Nah, but for real, there will be UI versus UI. Spoilers.
Looking forward to it, man.
All right. Well, a lot of interesting concepts and possibilities. And as we get any information on this movie, obviously, we're going to let you guys know. If you guys want, go subscribe to UnrealEntGaming's channel. He makes daily videos on Dragon Ball Super. Thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you soon. Awarida!